Hi guys, welcome back to 100% Mags, and I am joined by, of course, Hanno from the Coach's Corner on YouTube, of course, and we are here once again for another preview for the upcoming game, of course, against Chelsea. It's down at Stamford Bridge this time around, and of course, it hasn't been going well for Chelsea. It hasn't really been going too well for us neither. Chelsea, of course, a lot further down the table than Newcastle are, but I'm sure, we are starting to see on the Newcastle side of things turning around. I'm sure Hanno will be hoping for the Chelsea side of things that it will turn around soon as well. But before we get into the preview, of course, I'd like to say a massive thank you for Hanno coming on the channel today and doing this preview. It's such short notice as well, because I was looking for a Chelsea fan to come on and unfortunately couldn't find one, and Hanno, of course, jumped in as he did the last time and come on, of course, because of him being a Chelsea fan. So always a pleasure to have Hanno come on the channel. So let's get into this preview for the game against Chelsea down at Stamford Bridge. I mean, it's an 8 o'clock kickoff on Monday night. Would have loved to have been today or Sunday, but we'll have to wait a Monday night, don't we, Hanno, for our game. But let people know, how's it been going for Chelsea?
First of all, thank you for having me on again. It's been ever since that 4-1 game. I said it last time we previewed the cup game. Ever since that 4-1 drumming you guys gave us up north, it's been a really tough time for us. And yeah, it's just players not being fit, and not Poch doing some idiotic stuff with his tactics, substitutions, and everything. I think we played you guys. When did we play you in the FA Cup?
Quite a while ago now. I'm trying to remember the date exactly.
Let me quickly check.
If you want to keep talking there.
Then I can say what we've been up to. It's been a while. But no, it was Carabao Cup or FA Cup.
It was the Carabao Cup, yeah.
Carabao Cup. See, we've lost that. Lost the final as well. But just one.
Yeah, that was back on the 19th of December.
19th of December, yeah. Let's have a look at our games since then. So 19th of December was, so after that we lost to Wolves 2-1. Then we beat Crystal Palace 2-1. We beat Luton 3-2 somehow. Beat Preston 4-0. It's Preston. Lost to Middlesbrough in the first leg. Of course, we beat them 6-1 in the return leg. Beat Fulham by an inch. Drew a Villa, and then of course beat them in the first fixture in the FA Cup. Lost 4-1 to Liverpool. Lost 4-1 to Wolves at home. And beat Crystal Palace and drew City. So
it's not bad.
It's not bad,
too
but
bad.
Not bad, but
could be better. Could be better.
It could be a lot better.
Since we played yous in that game, we've lost to Luton in the league down at theirs. Lost to Nottingham Forest in the league at ours. Played against Liverpool, lost 4-2, obviously. Played in the FA Cup against Sunderland and won. A 3-2 loss in the league to City at St James's. A win in the FA Cup against Fulham 2-0. 3-1 win against Aston Villa. And then, of course, the February games, which was 4-4 against Luton, 3-2 against Forest, a 2-2 against Bournemouth, a 4-0 loss to Arsenal, and a 1-1 draw in regular time, and then a 4-3 win on penalties in extra time against Blackburn in the Cup down at Ewood Park. And then, of course, a 3-0 win against Wolves in the game just gone, of course, at St James's Park. And then we're coming into this one. So, I mean, when you look at it, it's not too bad, but some of them games, like the Luton games, the Forest games, you know, the Bournemouth games that we had there, should have really probably been winnable games for us, but they haven't been. You know, that could be down to many different factors, injuries, what have you. But yeah, it's not looking great on that side of things when, you know, you're losing games where there should be winnable games. Same for Chelsea. I'm sure, you know, is it the same for you guys?
Yeah, well, you look, Wolves take down the double over us, should be at least beating them once. We lost, I've lost to Everton this season, lost to United, who's poor right now.
Yeah,
Um, Lost to Brentford. Brentford done the double over us. Let's not forget that as well. Of course, they beat us. Well, didn't do the double over us, but true of us,
yeah,
of course, should be beating Brentford, especially in their stage right now. Um, and um, what's the lost to Villa at home.
yeah,
Um, yeah, it's lost to Forest at home, but that's going way back to the beginning of the season. But still, counts all of those games you should be winning
yeah,
or at least getting a point. It becomes 20, 15 points for the course of the season. So, yeah, but I think both of us have had a fair share of injuries, and coming to this game, um, I think both of us still have loads of injuries, especially with our back four. I don't know what we're going to line up with, um, especially left back, because all of our left
yeah,
backs are injured. So, including Levi Cole, we have played there. He's also injured. So, yeah, this game is going to be an interesting one.
yeah. I agree with you. It's going to be a very interesting game. I mean, when we played each other in the Caribou Cup, you know, I thought we should have won that game. You know, as a Newcastle fan, I thought we were the better team in that game. I was pretty, you know, saddened to see that we went out of the cup, especially, you know, after the way the game played out. I really did, you know, think that, you know, Newcastle deserved to win that game and go through. And then, of course, you know, Chelsea making it all the way to the final to play against Liverpool. Not the greatest of finals. I don't know what you thought about it, but I watched it and I've got to say it wasn't the greatest of finals. Sort of had a similar feel to, you know, the previous Liverpool Chelsea finals that we've seen. I mean, what was your thoughts on that final?
I think it wasn't the best, but in terms of like quality and finishing, but if you, I think if more goals were scored, it would have been a better game.
Yeah,
But I think that's the main one, and I think lack of quality towards the end, especially in extra time. I think that's what it is. But then again, it's expected when Liverpool are playing their under 21s PL2 team. Really, I still don't know how we lost that final. Uh, yeah, it is what it is, I guess.
yeah, true. Um, like I say, we'll play the game Monday, 8 o'clock kickoff. I can't remember. It is on Sky Sports for this game as well. So, of course, there'll be a big viewing ship for this game, I hope. Of course, you know, the better the viewership, then the better, of course, you know, the revenue will be coming back off of this kind of game as well for being on TV. But going into the game, you know, on the Newcastle side of things, we're going to be without a few players as well, again, going into this game. So Kieran Trippier will be absent from this game. So I don't know what you think about that, but he will be absent from this game due to calf injury that forced him off during the victory against Wolves. And of course, there's other players as well that's still missing. We're getting some players back. We're seeing the likes of Isak coming back in the squad, Willock coming back in the squad. Willock's doing fantastic since coming back. Isak's done brilliant since coming back in the squad. Harvey Barnes has as well. You know, so we're starting to see some of them first teamers that we have been missing this season. The likes of Harvey Barnes, Willock, you know, they've been missing for quite a while in this season, and we are starting to see them coming back at the side. They're doing well as well. And then we've got the other players in there, you know, the likes of Bruno, who's been doing fantastic. He's going to be having to be very careful in this game because he's on the threat of a 2-match Premier League suspension if he picks up another card. Anthony Gordon is 2 cards away from a suspension as well. But of course, the cut-off point to avoid the ban is game 32. So we'll see what happens, of course. I don't know for your side, mate, what is going on for players out or not.
So I'll read. So just go through the list. Of course, Leslie Okochuko been out most of the season.
Yeah.
Christopher Nkunku as well. Romeo Lavia, Reece James, Wesley Fofana.
Yeah.
Those guys have been out most of the season, including Connor Chukwuemeka, but he is is close to joining team training again.
Yeah.
But the 4 biggest ones that have gotten injured are 3. 4-3 is Badashile is injured. Of course, made that horrendous error when we played you up north. Ben Chilwell also injured again. Levi Cole injured, injured for the first time, and then Conor Gallagher was absent due to illness. We'll see if he. This was posted 2 days ago. The latest injury update. So maybe we'll be back from that by the time of the game on Monday.
Yeah.
We'll see, but interesting to see Conor. Cucurella is not in that list, so maybe he will be fit to play. We will see, but if he's not, I don't know who we will have at left back. But yeah, it's going to be a tasty one. This one with all of the injuries, really. I think if we all had our first team players, then I think it could be very close. But this game, it's almost like you don't know what to expect. Is it going to be low scoring? Is it going to be wide open with all of the injuries? You just don't know. But
I agree with you there. It's one of them games where you going into it, don't quite know how it's going to play out. I mean, it could be, like you say, you know, could be very close, could be wide open. But I guess we'll find out, you know, on Monday night. Going into the game, of course, the referee for the game will be John Brooks. 3rd posting of the season for the Whistler from, of course, Merseyside, I believe he is. He's a Liverpool fan, I do know that. And, of course, he follows on from a 2-1 Premier League home loss officiating against Liverpool for us, and a 3-1 win against, of course, Villa down at Villa Park. And, of course, on VAR will be Jared Gillette. So, again, another Scouser, Aussie Scouser, but a Scouser for the game. It's been a recurring theme for us this season, to be honest. Us Newcastle United fans, we've seen a lot of Manchester and Scouse officiating teams going into games. I mean, I don't know if this is a similar theme for you, Hanno, but it's something, that us Newcastle United fans kind of notice quite a bit. There is a lot of Northwest, officials in the game. So I do understand that, of course, you are going to eventually get, Manchester, Liverpool referees, but there is quite a few from other areas as well, and especially in games, when it's, say, Liverpool, Manchester games, you shouldn't be getting Northwest officials. I mean, what's your thoughts, on your officials this season? Do you think the referees have been good, or do you think they've been bad? I mean, there've been some very questionable calls, on Newcastle side of things this season, in my opinion.
I think almost everyone this season you'll get stupid decisions, and then you'll get stupid decisions going with you. I think the prime example is what's happened to Real Madrid that other day when
Yeah, I seen
they
that one.
um, they got almost screwed over. But if you watch La Liga or know or follow Real Madrid, you will know there was I think a penalty, a goal that they scored or something happened into their favor, which cost another team, which wasn't a goal or something like that.
Yeah,
So I think over the course of the season, it cancels out. I think the main point is sometimes it that decision counts more than the others. I think that's the main problem because, for example, let's say um, let's take this weekend for example. Arsenal versus Brentford.
yeah,
Um, they don't give a penalty, last minute penalty to Arsenal, and also draw the game 2-2 or 1-1.
yeah,
Then City, Liverpool, um, City, City gets a late penalty. Late penalty isn't a penalty. They score, they win it, and they won the league by how many points are they off right now from Liverpool?
they're pretty close.
Are they 1 point or 2 points?
I'll have a
Um,
look.
1 point off, and City won the league by 2 points,
Yeah, they're only 1 point away.
and
Yeah,
also lose the league by what that will be. City win, they get a draw. That lose the league by 3 points. It's like
yeah,
that one decision costs you. So I think
yeah,
that's the main one. It's the importance of the decision, especially in these title races and battle for European places and relegation um,
yeah,
zones, and
yeah.
that's unfortunate.
That's where my worry is the relegation side of things. I mean, we've seen it in the past, teams going down when they shouldn't have went down because of an error by the referee. I mean, I know both our teams aren't yet the relegation zone, but it is something that, even though teams aren't there, you should still be talking about, should still be, bringing into question on, the referees and their bad decisions, because it can seriously cost, the livelihood of so many clubs. I mean, it's happened in the past, when Newcastle were down there, where there was decisions that were made and, it didn't, help at all, because it ended up sacrificing teams in the league for teams that, didn't need to get a win, because it wasn't going to affect where they were going in the league. Obviously, every team deserves to get a win, but at the end of the day, a lot of teams I've seen, when it gets to the latter end of the season, what have you, they start to realize that they can't move up, they can't move down, so they just start giving away a win, or the play to give away a win against teams to, which ends up costing people. But that's my opinion, you know, on that. I just don't like them kinds of dodgy decisions by referees. I'm sure your you know, feelings are the same on that one. We will talk about, of course, our thoughts on the game. I mean, obviously, we've got the game on Monday. You know, what's your thoughts about the game in a whole? You know, what would you go with for a score prediction for the game? And, you know, how do you think this game's going to play out? Do you think it's going to be, you know, wide open one, a tight one? What do you think, Hanno?
I think it's going to be a tight one. If I'm honest, I think both teams suffering from injuries will show. I think the best scoreline, if you are a bookings man, a 1-0 to 1 to each of the teams, or 1-1 draw. But
Yeah,
I'm just going to go for 2-1 to Chelsea. If you're going to ask me why, I don't know. I really don't know. I just think I just can't predict us to lose. Like, and it's Newcastle at home should be beating you in all honesty with how your team is going right now.
yeah,
Um, without Trippier, that's I think a big loss in terms of just experience and how to lead the team. But it will be interesting to see how Tino Livramento plays. Of course, no Lewis Hall. Um, of course, I'm hoping that you guys don't finish above 15th. Um, but it's a big drop off you need to have to finish below 15th right now. But yeah, unfortunately,
yeah, it would take a massive drop off for that.
yeah. If only it was made public a few weeks ago when you were lingering with us in 12. Now it's basically clear, but yeah, it's a massive game for both of us. Of course, Wolves play are currently drawing 0-0. That takes them 3 points above us.
Yeah,
But a win for us, of course, Brighton still to play. So if you win, you go above West Ham, or we're also playing. But a win for us, definitely. For Chelsea, takes us probably around ninth,
yeah,
depending on Wolves win, Wolves game, Brighton game. For you guys, it's a chance to get closer to United, bridge that gap with 6, and try and get Europa League.
yeah,
So yeah, but I think I don't even want to talk about Europe right now because we're so far away. 7 spots in West Ham, 42 points,
yeah.
30, 36, feels 6 points. It's not that much, but with how inconsistent we are, it feels a long way away.
Yeah, I agree with you. It feels like that when you're around that area of the table. I mean, you've played 26 games this season, you got 36 points. Obviously, I think, you know, you'll be doing well to get maybe in around that 8th, 9th place if you can in the league. I think that would probably be considered a reasonable season for, you know, considering how this season has played out for you guys. For me personally, as a Newcastle United fan, you know, I think yours will finish around that 8th, 9th area. I think that really is where you will finish around, to be honest. Or depending on what you can do in the results, of course, against the teams after Newcastle. Because for me, I'm going with Newcastle on a win on that one, unfortunately. I've got to go with my heart. I've got to go with my team on that. And I do believe Newcastle come away from this game at the weekend, or Monday, sorry, and pick up the 3 points down in the capital against Chelsea. If I had to pick a score prediction for this game, I would go with Newcastle to come away. Oh, let's see. The last time we won down at Stamford Bridge, it was 2-0 win. It was back in the 11-12 season. Papi Cissé's 2 absolute worldy goals against Chelsea. So I think I'll go with that. I think I'll go with 2-0 win against Chelsea, of course. And yeah, I think that's going to be my score prediction for this game. 2-0. If I had to pick scorers, I would say Isak and Anthony Gordon for the goal scorers. As for the starting lineup, I couldn't tell you, to be honest, who is going to play or who I think is going to play. Obvious choices, of course, in there, like Anthony Gordon, Sven Botman, Martin Dubravka, Isak, Willock, Bruno, obvious choices like that. But other areas, it's questionable at the moment. Like right back, I think it'd probably be maybe Tino Livramento at like right back, Dan Burn at left back. But like I say, it's going to be a very, very tight game, mate. And I'm hoping that we're getting an entertaining game as well, with Newcastle coming away with the 3 points in the game. But if we can get the wins going, we've got 27 games played, 40 points. Like you say, we can overtake West Ham in 7th place. We can push ourselves closer to Man United, who's in 6th place at the moment. Hopefully, with what games we've got left, what winnable games are there, we might be able to push into Europa League, maybe even Champions League. I'm not too sure if we'll be able to push for that or not. But if not, then, we will be able to get that Europa League spot. And then we'll get, into Europe. And I'll consider that a pretty decent season, considering what has happened this season for us so far, with all the injuries, problems we've had. And, the amount of other things going on at the club right now. We're still in that transition phase away from what was and going into what will be. So obviously there's a lot going on at the club. We're still, trying to move forward away from that old era of Newcastle United. And of course, we're in the process as well, behind the scenes, of trying to find a new sporting director to go forward as well, which we've just gotten in a company who is, headhunting to find that next sporting director, with, of course, Dan Ashworth on gardening leave. He'll be going to Man United either at the end of his gardening leave or beforehand, if Man United cough up the money, of course, for that. But yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting game on Monday, Hanno, mate, and it's been a pleasure having you come on the channel to talk about, of course, your thoughts heading into this game at the weekend. If you want to tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me on. It's going to be an interesting game. Yeah, social media, of course, YouTube, the main one, the Coach's Corner, Instagram, anu_coach_corner, and then Twitter is anu_coach corner. You can follow me on there. With guys can see the logo. It's there. So yeah, I'll pick up myself for having me, and hopefully, I can give myself a good week of football. Good week, happy week. I hate Monday night football, because with the weekend, if it's like on a Saturday, you can get over it. By
Yeah.
Monday, like over it. But Monday, it's like, so I've got to deal the whole week with this. So yeah, but hopefully, it isn't like that. But Newcastle, anything can happen. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to, like you said, Newcastle 2-0. I will not be surprised. Let's be honest. And I don't think you will be surprised if we win. So yeah,
Maybe a
nothing.
little. I might be a little surprised if Chelsea get the win. Yeah, like you say, Monday Night Football isn't the best. I mean, my reasons for not liking Monday Night Football are slightly different to the, getting over the result. Mine's more, I just want to see Newcastle United play. It's just in blood as Geordies. We just like to watch football, and to have to wait, for our team to play, it does, irk yeah, a little bit. You have to wait. And then, of course, again, it's down in the capital. It's a late kickoff. So again, the Newcastle fans who are traveling for the game, credit to them, because again, they're going to be, getting stuck down in the capital with no way back up because of, transport getting cut off at certain times, and they're going to find themselves again stranded in the capital. I just feel that this is something that they do have to look at, moving forward, because the fans are not being thought of when these times are being picked for TV, and it really is hindering fans, and it's costing fans, dearly. And they're missing out on quite a few different things as well. Some people, missing, relatives, birthdays, missing, other stuff as well, so it does have to be rectified, does have to be sorted, in my opinion. But yeah, thanks for coming on, Hanno, mate. It's been a pleasure having you come on the channel. And like you say, it's going to be a very tight game, this one. But may the best team win, as I always say, on the day. Funny football is a funny old game, and anything can happen. It is pretty hard to predict how a game will play out. But like I say, thank you for coming on the channel, Hanno, mate. It's been a pleasure having you come on. And that'll be it for this preview. If you want to hit a like, share, and subscribe to the channel, people, and also put your comments down in the comments below as well. As you can see, scrolling across the bottom there, as well as a couple of options to support the channel, joining the membership for $1.99 a month, or hitting the Super Thanks logo, of course, and putting in any donations on there. And of course, this was one of the gifts that I got for my birthday off my family. If you do like the look of this, then there is a chance that I can do some merchandise for the channel. So if you are interested in that, then let us know down in the comments below, and we'll see what we can do moving forward. But till next time, I'll see you all later, and however, lads.